Welcome back to the 3 Bourbon Years. This week we are going to discuss how to start a bourbon budget with $200.
200 bones.
2 Benjis.
2 Benjis.
And where should you Where should you direct those funds?
I got that.
So Taylor, what are you like? What's our thoughts here? What do we?
Our thoughts are, if you're a beginner in bourbon, right? You don't know what to do. You have $200 and you want to start a bourbon collection. We're going to show you the bottles that we would buy, because we were all bourbon, I don't know, novices at one point. We didn't know anything that was going on. We were just out there kind of buying whatever. We had no direction. So we're going to try and give you some direction. You got $200. What are you going to buy as your first, basically 5 bottles for your collection?
And a caveat,
we got 5.
And a caveat to that, we're not giving you any allocated bourbon or hard to find bourbon.
No, this is stuff you should be able to find.
This is stuff that's on shelves
Uh-huh.
that you can readily find that gives you really good flavor profiles.
Yeah.
And kind of dips your toes in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And helps you kind of like test the waters to see what you like.
Right, what we talked about before we made this was like people need to know like different distilleries, right? You need to know the flavor profiles of different distilleries so you can kind of figure out, okay, what do I like more? What do I want to kind of get my direction towards? And then when you have people over to your house and you're having you know, guests and parties and things like that, you're going to be able to kind of accommodate every single type of whiskey or bourbon lover. So,
yeah, it's just building your repertoire.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of these too are pretty mild on the proof scale too. We got nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Because when we started, it was really.
We got one wild one, but.
Yeah. And the beauty is, find something you like, you can always upgrade.
Yeah. So what's the first one?
Let's just start with Old Faithful.
Old Faithful. This is gonna be a crowd
Old label
pleaser.
too. You got the old one. Wild Turkey 101.
Great bottle, 101 proof, Wild Turkey profile. I don't know, is it maybe the best value in all of bourbon?
$25. 101 proof.
$25.
And
You might even find it for 20.
23, 22,
Yeah.
like.
We're gonna round it up and say 25.
Well, with
for
tax
video
and with,
purpose.
yeah, generally.
This covers all the bases of Wild Turkey. It's a 101 proof.
Yeah.
It's affordable, and you can find it literally at Target, Walmart,
And
liquor
it's everywhere.
stores.
Yeah.
So a great
Not even
starting
liquors.
point.
Yeah, just like Walmart. Yeah, like you
And
said.
the cool thing about this is like you kind of either like Wild Turkey or you really don't necessarily care for it.
You're gonna find out quick.
You'll find out quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've got like that light cinnamon quality typically, like this distillery,
A
and
little bit of nuttiness, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be full-bodied, so very flavorful too at the same time. This can be used in a mixed drink as well. So, and it's
Multi-purpose
25
bottle.
bucks, so you're not gonna feel bad about buying this bottle. It's a great way to start off your collection. This is one of the first bottles you should buy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, and it's 101 proof, so you're kind of like bridging that gap of like a little higher proof.
Yeah.
It may be a little rough, but they do a really good job of like it not being too hot.
For
So,
sure.
What's
100%.
next?
Let's go with this guy. What do you think? Yeah, move it aside there a little bit.
One of Smiley's favorites.
Oh yeah, so this is Makers. This is a good way to dip your toes into a wheated bourbon. This is their 46. We thought this offered a little bit more flavors than just the typical Makers.
Absolutely.
It kind of gives you more of a sweeter note. You get a little bit of that banana. They do offer a cask strength of this too, so what I was talking about where you can kind of upgrade to get a little more flavors, you have that offering too, which is cool.
What's the price point on this one?
This one is $35.
35 bucks. So what are we at right now?
We're at 25 and 35, so that's $60.
60 bucks.
$60 for these two, and these are
pretty good.
Two
Pretty
gorgeous
good.
bottles.
I mean, these are 2 great bottles. This 46, like you said, there's a cask strength version, which we like a lot more. That's like our
Oh yeah, that's
our zone.
one of my favorites.
But this bottle is really good if you're not, I don't know, if you're not too experienced with bourbon yet or those higher proof bourbons. Just go for this one. This one's totally fine. You can find this one more often. It's on basically all shelves, I think. And it's 10 times better than your regular Maker's Mark. Just get this one instead.
But still a great Maker's profile.
Yes.
that
Yeah, I
you're
mean, and you can get Makers too. It's probably like, I think Makers is like $32,
Right.
but we just thought this offers a little bit more.
Right. All right. What are we doing next? You want to go with that?
Let's do good old classic, even more than Wild Turkey.
Apparently, this is a legend.
100 proof, still a great entry level. Just like checks all your like good
Bourbon
solid
boxes?
bourbon
Yeah.
boxes, right?
What's the price on this?
This one was 25. What was it? 25?
I have 22.
22?
Yep, I saw it on
Yeah. So
the shelf.
$22.
So we're at $82.
Still an amazing mixer too,
Yep.
by the way. If
Yeah,
you're
look at
looking
these.
to-
These are
Great
3.
mixer. You can drink
Fantastic.
it. You can drink it on the rocks if you're new to bourbon. You can drink it neat. You
Yep.
can put it in a cocktail. This is kind of a do-it-all bourbon. We haven't really done any reviews on this, but we've had a lot of comments saying, "Why don't you guys try the Old Forester 100 because it's a daily drinker legend." What do you guys want to do next?
Save that for last.
That one for
The
last.
last guy. All right,
All right. Good old Woodford Double Oaked.
double oaked.
I mean, what more can you say?
You can't have a list without this bottle on it.
It's one of the greatest beginner bourbons, I think, and it's one that I
This-
think everyone tries when they're a beginner bourbon drinker.
Yeah.
Like all of us went out and bought this and tried it and fell in love
It's
with
such a good, like, 53 that once you jump into that, like, 50 range, this is the perfect one to
So
start
this is the
with.
most expensive bottle so far.
It is.
on the list.
Yep.
This might have solidified like our love for bourbon.
Honestly,
Dare I
it's
say?
like, it's
I think so.
a good entry. Like, it's
I still remember
arguably
the first time
best.
you tried this. You described it as being in a like 70s Jaguar,
Oh, yeah.
Forest Green,
forest green.
Jaguar.
The steering wheel's on the opposite side. You're somewhere in London, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's really what it did to us. This was the first whiskey I think that took us to like a different place.
Yeah.
Granted, we were 7-8 drinks deep at the time, but
May
nonetheless,
have been helpful.
this kind of changed our view on what bourbon could be back when we were first getting into it.
And, you know, these are pretty stereotypical looking bottles. Everyone's seen Makers, but when you pull this out, it has some like weight to it almost. So
Absolutely.
I love it. It's got a lot of those earthy, like dark tobacco, chocolate, leather, like.
Oh yeah,
really
it's got a handful of everything. And
Yeah.
one of my favorite things with this was when we first drank it, we described it as breakfast in a glass,
Yeah.
and it was one of the very
Very
few,
Maple
savory.
syrup over
Yeah.
bacon.
It was one of the very few whiskeys that I actually really enjoyed over ice. Like I had one of those big like ice balls.
Yeah.
And I used to pour this over ice all the time. So any of you new beginners, maybe go for that. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you like to try it over ice. So
For sure. So that's
Go for it.
$55.
yeah.
So what are we at right now? We're at 80,
Oh God.
82? Or no, that was $53, right?
We are at 145. I think.
145.
We'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, I think we're at 145.
All right.
Save the best for last.
The best
this is,
for last. Easily the best for
Da-da-da.
last.
This is one of my favorite.
Good go-to.
I could talk for an hour about this bottle.
It's a wonderful bottle.
One of my all-time favorites today as a more experienced bourbon drinker. You can find them.
Yeah.
Where can you find a store pick single barrel select for anywhere from $40 to $55?
Unless it's
Yeah,
not
we have
Greek,
this.
they don't
We have
exist.
we have it
Exactly.
labeled for 55.
55.
Yeah,
bucks.
gonna-
55. We found them for
You can go less. You
40
can go
ish,
more.
but
We're gonna hit that
55 is
right now.
consistent. I mean, it's got everything. It's got the store pick quality. It's 120 proof,
Yeah, that's fantastic.
single barrel.
You can sometimes
That's-
find 12 years of it too. Anywhere
You're
from
fine.
10
we
to
have
12.
like 11. We have 12 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
as well,
There's
so.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
delicious. The Knob Creek profile is going to be a little more like the
Might have a little nut on it.
little nuts.
Jim Beam, right?
Yeah,
So,
nothing,
Nothing
like,
like Booker's or
nothing
anything.
like Booker's.
No.
Nothing like Henry McKenna.
No.
Not like that. No.
But
It's just.
my Friday night sipper. This is it.
Oh, I would
So-
never be upset as a seasoned bourbon drinker. Would you?
If someone
ever be
pulled out,
upset
no.
Having one of these
Nope.
at any house ever? No,
No.
absolutely.
I
not.
have
So,
2 bottles on hand at all times. That goes to
You
show
gotta,
you.
you gotta
where
have
you're-
it. So what are we at for price right now on this?
We
one?
are at $190.
So you got $10 left.
Go buy a Glen.
What are they gonna do with it?
Go buy a Glencairn.
Go get yourself
Drink whiskey like a proper person.
a Glencairn. They're about $10 on Amazon. That'll get you up to your $200 mark. So not only will you have an excellent selection in your collection, but you're gonna also have the right glass to drink it with. This is absolutely essential.
It
if
does
you're going to
matter.
be tasting
People may think it
whiskeys.
doesn't.
Yes.
And why?
It does.
It's got a little weight to the bottom.
Yep, it's got this bulbous bottom that allows the bourbon to sit around in there, and then it actually funnels all of the notes up to the top. So when you nose it, you can kind of get stronger, more potent.
And nosing it
flavors.
is important. I know it looks fruity when you start. I know it
It's
sounds
very
fruity,
pretentious,
but
yes.
it's very important, and it is a big part of drinking whiskey because sometimes the nose delivers something different. Sometimes
And you
it
lose
tells
the
you
nose.
what it's going to be.
You lose that nose on a wider glass.
You do, yes. You have to really like get in there.
I got 3 fingers for a cigar left,
You're right.
right? You can't do that oftentimes with a giant wide mouth
no.
glass. No, but seriously, this is the way to do it.
It's necessary. Grab one.
Pour it
at
over
least.
ice if you're doing that right now. That's fine. But eventually, again, water and ice ruin the complexity and the initial reason these guys put the juice
Yeah.
into the bottles. So I would say if you like it and you have to do it over ice, do it, but just maybe try a little pour before you do it over ice, just to get
Yeah.
like.
Your goal should be to wean yourself off of the ice,
Yeah.
is what I would say if you're a beginner to bourbon. But this is an excellent way to start a collection for $200. So if you're trying to get into whiskey, you've tried it a few times and you said, oh, I kind of enjoy that, I think I can get into it, and you want to spend $200,
Yeah.
these are the perfect bottles to start that collection.
Also, welcome to having some fun, because drinking whiskey is a lot of fun.
It's a good time.
You've picked a good hobby because it's a blast.
Also, we should give a shout out to the person who kind of
Oh, yeah.
inspired this video, Prescription Bourbon. If you haven't seen his channel, go and check him out. He's a bourbon legend for sure. He did this video, we watched it, and we thought, wow, that's really awesome. He picked a bunch of great bottles too that you can go out and try as well.
Yeah, go check him out.
Yeah,
He's a
he
good
inspired
guy.
this video. Great guy. Yeah, awesome videos. So this is kind of the inspiration from him.
Yeah, this is our kind of take on his
Absolutely.
design.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. What would be your 5 go-tos, or what would be your list
Ooh,
for under
I do want to
200?
hear that from the comments.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious if people, would any of these be on your list, or are these all disgusting to you? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I'm almost like 5 Knob Creeks.
Right, just 5 different store picks.
That's just over $200, but.
Yeah, but yeah, we're curious to hear what you guys have to say. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. It helps us out a ton, and we'll see you in the next video.
All for one and one for all.
Cheers.
Cheers.